And look who just walked in here. Like he owns the place.
Yeah, and I walk in and I see Dale's all bandaged up. Looks like he got finished with the Philadelphia Eagles or New York Giants. Cowboys got rough shot a little bit.
Or just my grandson. How about that? That's how fragile I become.
Oh, that's pretty sad if your grandson's got you all bandaged up.
When I have to put up the double stop sign when he's running at me, do not run and jump into my arms. I ain't got to. Coop, we spent the first 10 minutes talking about what a wonderful night we had Thursday night.
We had a great night.
And
we had a great night.
You were the host. You were spectacular. The food was awesome. Company was pretty good. But what a wonderful night! I want to address it.
It was, but you know what? I'm looking for that next bet because I don't like to lose.
No, I know you don't. I know you don't, and we'll find something. But it was a wonderful night. You did it up, and little did we know, the one thing that surprised me the most is Coop has to travel clandestine out in public because. Can't give his real name.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would say it was a big secret type of thing that I'm doing, but it works.
She looked at me like Bruce Cooper. I'm like,
she's on the news guy?
Yeah. and I did finally say, she goes, well, what does he look like? I said, well, he's a black guy. Oh.
Like,
well, Dale's finding out a few of these clandestine or secret moments from me.
Koo has lived a life that we would all be jealous of. I have a feeling.
You think you'd want to drop his name at the beginning, to get the better tables and stuff like that.
They did stick us in the back there, didn't they?
They did. Well, you want it to be quiet.
I know. We walked in. I go back. And I go, is this a Coop table back here in the corner?
All right, we only got a few minutes, so we can't get into any topics. I'm going to give you guys a quick quiz.
Yeah, give it to us.
Quick quiz. And I just want to ask you how you answer these. So these teams are from the Coastal Athletic Association.
The who?
Coastal Athletic Association.
Okay.
I want you to tell me if you know any of these mascots.
Oh boy, I guarantee I'm not going to. But go ahead.
Okay, how about Charleston?
The Knights.
Is that right?
Cougars.
Okay, well, heck, I just was asking, so if he said no, I was going to guess the Cougars.
Yeah, give him a chance. Yeah.
Look at him. How about Hofstra? You've heard of Hofstra.
The Knights.
Hofstra, Minutemen.
Pride.
Okay.
Who gets that?
The Drexel.
Bulldogs.
The Knights.
Dragons. The Monmouth.
Oh, they're the elephant, the woolly mammoths.
Patriots.
Hawks. Stony Brook.
Doesn't even make sense. This better be a river.
Stony Brook.
Stony Brook. I'm going to say the Hawks.
A night river.
Seawolves.
What the Seawolves?
Townsend.
Oh, Townsend, I actually know, and I can't think of it right
Townsend. Townsend.
Tigers.
Tigers, yes.
Oh, wow.
I actually knew that one.
How about Campbell?
Campbell.
Campbell.
Soup.
Campbell.
What is this?
It's got to be Patriots in there somewhere.
They're the Fighting Camels.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Fighting Camels?
Hampton are the Pirates. Elon is the Phoenix. North Carolina AT&T is the Aggies. Northeastern is the Huskies.
Jeez.
Where did they come up with all that
I
stuff?
have no idea.
More importantly, what did you come up with that survey at?
I was just looking through the standings to see how far ASU had fallen down to the basketball standings.
The bubble?
Yeah, right. Hey, look, I will say this. I know that the and here's the deal. See, me and Steve had talked about going to one of their games.
Yeah.
And I've been slow about getting on there, but I thought I had another week or so. I looked and I saw this is their final week.
Yeah.
And so this is their final home game, and I'm like, man, this could be it for Bobby.
I just assumed neither one of us wanted to go to a game.
Well, that's a good point too. But I was looking forward to a little Chuck box before we headed over.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
we
little
have
Chuck.
to do Chuck Box for
little
lunch
Chuck-
one
See,
day.
yeah, he said he's never been, so I was.
Me? Oh no, I've been at Chuck Box a
have
hundred
you?
times. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Not a million.
A big one?
times.
Oh no, a million
not-
times.
A million.
That and it used to be the Chuck Box, and then an Italian place when I went to ASU that was next door, and they had great.
Who was it? Was it Dale? Never been to the Chuck box?
I've only been to Chuck Box up north when it was open. There used to be one on Shea and Scottsdale
not
Road.
the same.
What?
Yeah, Chuck Box.
Dude, I only knew of the one at ASU.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. You're thinking of Charles's box.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, but at any rate, if this is Bobby's final home game, I tell you what, it's a great game because I think his best 2 wins as a head coach at Arizona State University comes against the Jayhawks.
Yeah.
They were number 2 in the country when they went to Fog Island Fieldhouse and beat the Jayhawks. Came back the following year at
This was 10 years ago now, though.
well, but
8 years ago now.
it was. But I tell you what, that's when Bobby had this thing rocking because
Yes.
it was called Guard You,
Yeah.
and I keep going back to that. I still remember that team. They could be down by 20, 25 points, and they would shoot their way back in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Shannon Evans, Cody Justice, Trey Holder, and some guy named Remy Martin.
Trey Holder.
Maybe you heard of Remy, but yeah,
Remy went and played it. Did he play Kansas or
well,
Kentucky?
no, Remy was a freshman that came in
Yeah.
to ASU, and his senior year he transferred
Yeah.
out and played at Kansas, and I believe they were in the. Did they win the title?
No, but they went. You know what? They might have won. If they didn't win it, they were close to winning it. Yeah.
Yeah, because Remy
Yeah.
was having quite the run. But
Yeah.
let me tell you something. Those were some exciting years for ASU, and I just really thought that Bobby Hurley, being this one of the more prolific point guards in college basketball history, I thought that was his signature was guard you.
Right.
And they were a fun team to watch. Now, again, they beat the Jayhawks number 2 in Kansas, then returned, beat the Jayhawks number 1. Jayhawks are number 1, and they stormed the court. And I just said, man, ASU hit a home run with this guy.
Right.
And then he started getting, some of these top rated players in.
The 5 stars.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, it just seems like the injury after COVID. It just seems like
In that COVID year with
Yeah.
those guys.
Bagley,
Bagley
Christopher,
and the other guy.
yeah. And who were both first round picks. No, Christopher was, but
Bagley fell.
He
yeah.
wasn't. But I mean, they just had injuries. It seemed like every time, even last year, they had 2 5-star guys.
Yeah.
Josan Sannon
And the big guy, Q.
Jaden Quinitz. 2 5-star guys. They got off to this great start. I mean, they were non-conference. They were probably maybe 11-2 or something like that. And then next thing you know, they get to conference play. They're hurt, and they don't even play anymore. I mean, at least I give.
Well, Q flew out his knee.
Q's was legit because he tore his ACL.
Yeah, so he'll be back, but yeah.
But the one thing that's always interesting over the last 5 years or so since Steve and I have been doing this and whenever I've been paying a little more attention, it always seems like ASU gets the wrong 5 stars. Like, okay, yeah, they are rated a 5-star, but that's not the best 5-star. Or there's some issue like the dude in Kansas.
Yeah, Pattinson or whatever.
I don't know how on earth you coach a kid like that. The guy who keeps taking himself out of the game.
Darren Patterson.
Yeah.
Patterson?
You don't coach him. That's the point.
And that would just drive me crazy.
Yeah.
But it'll be fascinating.
Remy Martin, by the way, 2022 national champion. They did beat North
did?
Carolina that
Okay,
year.
yeah.
I couldn't remember if they won it or if they lost that game. But yeah.
And I'm telling you, Bobby had the Sun Devils rocking at that point. But I'm telling you, like Dale says, seems like when they get these 5-star kids and you get excited, something happens. Injuries always happen and they just don't play. And I was excited about this. Anytime you can steal someone from U of A.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with Josan Sannon. Sannon had committed to U of A, and all of a sudden ASU flipped him. So I'm excited. And Bobby called him like the best shooter he's ever coached. I mean, the guy got off to a phenomenal start, but then all of a sudden, I mean, he sprained an ankle. and I guess he was out like 3 weeks, and he came back. He was never the same.
You couldn't play anymore. It was amazing to see. So let's take our top of the hour break here and come back. But yeah, Kansas is in town tonight against Arizona State, 7 p.m. Dare I say it, ASU has a chance to win this game because Kansas is terrible.
What?
Terrible.
They're terrible.
They've been terrible lately.
They're not playing real well right now.
Yeah, and teams that you play them after they play Arizona, they have terrible records. Just on top of it from that. So
one last
be
big
interesting to
thank
see.
you to Bruce Cooper. Didn't even blink at the bill. Big shrimp.
I don't think he looked at it. I don't think he looked at it.
Hey, you want another appetizer? Cooper's just spoiling us.
I'm a big Steak 44 fan. I'm just from the seafood standpoint. My wife loves the steak, and I like you guys.
Yeah,
I don't do
your
that.
salmon was amazing looking as well. So come on back, folks. Second hour main event coming up next. And we're back here, second hour main events for show on this Tuesday in the temporary news studios.
I'll come down to your guys' level.
Yeah, I know. Why are you sitting so high over there?
I felt like King Helistray over here.
Well, we're still working on some setup stuff and everything. Trying to get the kinks out. It's funny how we test it, and then it's like, then we go live, and it's like, oh, we got to do this and this and this and this. You found your way back to this place, all right?
Found my way back. You know, I started to get a little worried about. God, did I miss it? Oh, here it is.
Traffic better or worse than going downtown? Is the question.
It was better.
There was not much traffic today coming down. Like I always hit one of those signs over the 51. It sometimes says 20 minutes to I-10. Sometimes it says 8 minutes to I-10.
Yeah, I had a good run from the 60 to the 101 north. I mean, it wasn't bad at all. I'm like, man, I like you. I was wondering, man, what I was trying to think if it was a holiday today or something.
Yeah.
Well, spring break starts next week for a lot of the school districts, so you'll see it get really weird starting next week.
Shouldn't affect today, but it was
Next
nice.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Now, did you put your Kevlar casing on your car to come down here to this neighborhood, too?
It's the same neighborhood that KUPD's in, and he doesn't say this stuff to them when he pulls into their neighborhood. Just saying.
Yeah.
What a snob he is.
Yeah.
I'll get security at the end of the. I'll get a security guy to check you in, Dale. If you'd like.
Look, if this is the place that we're going to have the draft, then that's all good. That's all you need to know. Because I do want to point out a few things about this after watching.
We're going to talk about that here coming up. But I mean, if unless we find our permanent spot here coming up, I have to work some stuff with some other people. To find out how much space we need, but worst case, this is where we're doing the draft.
I like it here. I like it here.
And things like that. Just a matter of how big we need to get with some other opportunities out there. But before we get into like the big sports out there, we want to talk to you about, of course, over the weekend, AIA basketball is happening out there. Well, I've been following the story. I didn't talk about it at all last week because it was the fans, it was the parents. We're talking about Coolidge, and then of course. With some Chinley was down there in Coolidge and playing a game. And the fans, parents, dare I say, some fans for Coolidge, reportedly were saying, the wrong things to the players of Chinley and the fans.
Well, it's kind of like they did. They said they were racially taunting.
Exactly. That's what they were saying. Not the kids, the parents, the fans.
And that's the interesting thing that you have to make a distinction of. It wasn't the players.
The AIA didn't make that distinction.
It was fans and players and fans and parents. Which, Goop, we don't have enough time to go all down that road. Just the way parents have their attitudes.
They ruin everything.
Hey, let me tell you something. I've been at basketball games where parents have been, and I felt bad for the players.
Yes,
I'm not gonna mention a couple of the players,
you don't have
but parents were so unruly. The referees stopped the game, went and got the police who were there for security, pointed them out. It was one of the twice in two different occasions. It was a player's parent. They were escorted out. One of them was banned from coming to the rest of the game. And that's just embarrassing.
Yes.
It's embarrassing. I felt bad for the kid. Yeah. Because, God, he's got to be saying, Dad, please.
I mean, you come home and your dad's been kicked. It's like, I've never understood that. Oh, it's.
Yeah. But here's where I think where the AIA erred. again, the situation, in case anyone out
Yeah.
there that
Now,
doesn't
Jim,
know.
let's explain the whole thing now that we know obviously more.
Right. The Coolidge Bears, were playing a state playoff game against Chinley. Chinley is from the reservations.
Yep.
And so and they have a great following. I mean, just a great, fantastic fan following.
Yep.
I mean, when you go to these playoff games, I mean, the arena is just packed.
They almost sold out the call for the women, for the girls.
Yeah, absolutely,
basketball championship
boys
that
and
ended up
girls.
winning.
They pack. I mean, look, I've been at I guess it's called Mortgage Arena now. It used to be called
the Morgue.
Yeah,
What I call it.
America West Arena
Yeah.
where the Suns play. I mean, they would host sometimes the AIA state championship game, and I'm telling you, the Native Americans, they supported their teams like now. I mean, the arena is darn near packed with their fans.
Yeah.
That's how great they support them. And so to hear that and look, I know the AIA does a great job in terms of when they go in their investigations, they found out that the Coolidge fan base and parents were racially taunting the fans from Chinley.
Right.
All right. So so the AIA laid out a ruling where and this is where I think they went wrong. They put the entire, keep in mind, the entire Coolidge athletic program, boys and girls sports.
Yep.
We're talking about football, gymnastics,
Track
wrestling,
and field.
everything. They put them on a 1-year probation, banned them all from a postseason play.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, dude, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong. You need to look. The football, like the football season is already completed at Coolidge. The gymnastics, all these
Soccer,
fall
whatever,
sports,
yeah.
they're all completed, and they play the season. And so now they're here to try to maybe support the other sports that are being played, or maybe they've gotten into that different sport or whatever. But to penalize them, it's ridiculous. This is the boys' basketball program. They singularly
Who won the game, by the way.
Yeah, they singularly need to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Not and here's the deal. It's not the players, but it's their program. And so it's just like when we see coaches or whatever boosters that illegally recruit, it's the players and that program that get sanctioned,
Right.
not the entire athletic department. So that's where I think the AIA erred. But then this is where I'm like, my gosh. So the basketball program, they appealed, went to court, won that ruling.
Well, they appealed to the AIA first, and AIA said, "Nope, we're not
Absolutely.
changing any of it." That's what their
Right.
ruling is.
So they went to court and they got an injunction, and so they were able to get back in the tournament because their next opponent was going to get a forfeit and move on.
They were going to automatically go to the championship
Right.
game.
And so now Coolidge is back in. They won the game, so now they'll play the state championship game.
And then,
But-
but then there was Snowflake, who has to travel down here from Snowflake.
Right.
They had to move the game around, so you're
Right.
messing with their schedule and stuff to that effect. Now the championship game's been moved.
Right. Yeah,
multiple times.
because the AIA they had dates, times,
Yeah.
and slotted
should've
for
been
each one
played
of
over
these
the
games. And when they had kicked Coolidge out, well, okay, they lost their slot.
Right.
So now they have to reslot and refine another day, and so that's the issue. But the problem I have, Dale, let me ask you this: I think SMU is the only football program ever to be given the death penalty, right?
Correct. Yes.
Dale, let me ask you this: was it the football program or the entire athletic
It
department?
was just a football
Oh
program.
my gosh! You hear
Yeah,
that? You hear that?
yeah.
It was just the football program. I mean, look. I love the AIA. I love how they try and support and legislate our entire athletics from a high school standpoint. But sometimes they get it wrong from a jurisprudence
Supervisional,
standpoint,
yeah.
if you will. And this is one of those cases. They were wrong. You cannot penalize that entire athletic program. You need to penalize that boys basketball program.
But even that though, Coop, just penalize the event. You cannot have any visiting fans for any home games moving forward for basketball.
Look,
they're the ones doing it. No, but then did you see this too, really quick? The boys ran out on the court against that game, and there was a big Native American presence there because the women's schools were competing. Ended up winning. One of them ended up winning the girls championship. Obviously, the boys teams were playing there and stuff like that. And then Coolidge runs out on the court between games of the Native American and gets booed. The kids get booed mercifully by these fan bases because of what parents and adults had done on the sideline.
Yeah.
The AIA, I'll be meaner about it than you are. The AIA thought they were being tough. They thought they were going to lay down the hammer, and they got embarrassed. And they're not looking out for kids. The AIA was looking out to protect things and look like the winner in this. And they screwed it up so bad that they royally messed it up. And they're going to get slapped down in court. That's why you get the injunction, is because you're more likely to win it than lose it. But then if Coolidge goes on and wins the championship and the AIA somehow wins the court deal, they'll have to forfeit that championship on top. Vacate. Yeah. It's just stupidity. It's dumb on the AIA's part. There's 1,000 things you could have done before getting to this level, and that's what makes me angry. They're not protecting the kids at all.
Well, here's the deal. I think we just talked about it. The kids didn't play any part in this. No. It was the parents and the fans that are there. And so you can't penalize parents and fans because you can't. I mean, there's too many of them.
If you would have caught them in the act, you can ban them, but otherwise you can't.
So what you have to do is you have to make them realize, hey, and this will go down. Look, if you penalize that entire team like they did that particular sport, it will have some.
Here's the problem, though. I'm going to show up to the championship game, and I'm going to sit on the other team's court and yell things. I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm just using an example. I'm going to yell things about the other team to get them banned from the championship game, and we automatically win a championship.
Well,
that's why you can't regulate that.
Well, but here's the deal. At some point, when they sit down and interview you, you'll have a bunch of witnesses.
Yeah.
Too many witnesses will say, no, that guy wasn't even on our team.
Right.
He was this, that, and the other. So, look, I know that they have their investigations. And there's no question in my mind that the fan base from Coolidge, parents included, and probably the more guilty people or the parents, they cost this. And what they did was ugly. I mean, you always talk about you want someone to be a role model.
Right.
Hey, Dude, you have to, as a parent. I mean, that's what part of your job is.
Right.
And so if you hurt that program, the players and stuff like that, that's the only way you can get a parent that maybe second guess himself. And maybe I better tone it down.
Yeah.
If someone else, hey, remember what happened last year? Remember this? That's the only way you can do it. But you cannot. And my issue is they penalize the entire.
That's what they went on.
I mean, I do. No.
It's just the AIA continues to make big mistakes when it comes to penalizing, and then they always get beat down by the court system.
Well, they don't have the money.
Well, that's my point. So why go through that process?
Because you're trying to supervise the sport that the athletic directors come up with the rules. But you're right. The number one thing now, could they have still gotten the TRO, the temporary restraining order? Probably, but to put the entire athletic program,
and the temporary restraining order has nothing to do with the whole school. That hearing comes later. That was just so they could play in this basketball.
And this is another, like, I can tell you, I covered this story here. There, the AIA meets, I believe, just before the start of the football season in the fall, and then sometime in maybe mid to late October. All right, so if you're a transfer, you need to get in beforehand. Well, what happened was, and I'm just going to not even mention schools players. A player was at school A. He had some problems at home, so he went to live with his grandparents, and so he's now at school B,
which is better.
Yeah, which is better. Was better for him. Well,
coincidence.
There was a death in the family at school A. He had went back home.
Okay.
Because tragic situation.
Right.
And he had to sit the entire time because they don't meet again until late October. Season's pretty much, his kid's a senior.
Right.
Season's pretty much over. And so I'm like, my gosh. I mean, look, I understand they don't want to open Pandora's box because that's what they were telling me.
Right.
But I mean, dude, there has to be some type of compassion, some type of a way to this is an issue that is different. It's outside the box.
Yeah. We
need an emergency meeting.
That kid would have had to sue to get his way through there.
And when they met in October, guess what? They cleared him. But shoot, he's missed 3/4 of the season.
Right.
No, that's what makes me angry about the A. Because they always say we're in the best interest of the kids. We're protecting the kids, but they're not. They actually make it harder for the kids going forward. And they don't see that they're making it harder. The whole Sawara situation with the principal, and then they all want to transfer out. The kids that got to play right away sued them, won it, and was able to play right away. The kids that didn't sue had to sit out the 4 or 5 games or whatever it was. It's just there's no system. There's a way to clarify it up. To put Coolidge kids in that position, this is what makes me angry. Is all right. It's already bad enough. You came in, but like you said, you're punishing the track and field. They can't win state at track and field coming up here.
Baseball
because of what the basketball program is. It's an absolute joke. You're not
yeah.
protecting any kids in that situation. Right. Then to let those Coolidge kids run out onto the court and get booed mercifully is another way of how's that protecting the kids in that situation? The AAA fails at protecting kids.
Well, they don't hit the nail on the head because I've done enough stories to understand that they don't have the money to really
fight these cases.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So then why? That's my point though. But why put the whole school on there when you know you can't fight it?
Well, you made a bad. That's where. It's just a bad decision by the board. There's just no if and no.
Is the board the ones that make it? There's not one person. It's the board.
No, it's a board. It's a board. I'm sure there's a louder voice than others, but there's a.
Well,
I get it. Rightfully so. There was probably that said we can't condone this type of language. Absolutely.
I agree with sanctioning the boys program. And they probably even if they had just done the AIA had just singularly sanctioned the boys program, I do believe that they would have still gone to court and got
because they kicked him out of the playoffs. Yes,
right,
absolutely.
Right.
If this was regular season, you'd take your 1 or 2 game loss and you'd move on with your life. But no, this is the play. And they have a really good chance of winning this too.
Well, I look. I think that I don't have a problem with the penalty. They just put it across the board, and they just should have made a thing because you have to make some type of statement here.
I've been to enough high school basketball games where I've seen people get talked to if they're getting out. Nothing to that level. You mean to tell me that nobody in that building? You have security there. You have ADs in there that can step in. Nobody stepped in to. Hey, that person needs to go. That person needs to go. That person needs to go.
And so that's why you put it on the Coolidge administration.
Yeah.
Because they had people there, and they didn't do a good job in bringing their people. I mean, we've all seen cases where a head coach will pick up a mic and he'll say something. Look, I've seen Gary Ernst, the great Gary Ernst, who used to coach at both Chandler and Mountain View, do the same thing.
I saw that where some kids of a school were sitting on the visitor side. That athletic director walked over there and told, "Hey, you guys need to go sit on the other side," because they were running their mouths on that side. He just went over, grabbed them, and said, "You guys need to go."
But now this was supposedly after the game, correct? After the game,
it was at the end of the game. The game was still going on.
I thought the game was over.
No, it was still going on.
Okay. And again, I'm not saying the AAA has an easy job because between transfers and bogus transfers and these things and that thing, they got a tough job.
Illegal recruiting.
Yes, they got so much on their plate and they don't have the resources to do that. I mean, what the whole thing that happened with Sandra Day O'Connor and Central, where now they're talking about, hey, they were tanking so they could play in the lower tournament. Yeah. That's in high school now.
Well, look, you can't put that on the AIA. That's a coach's decision, I guess. It may and look, I can tell you about football. Like Conrad Hamilton, he was the head coach at Desert Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
His team is undefeated, having a great season, and yet he understands that. My 5A program, we can't compete with Liberty and Basha and Chandler in the open. Right. So I don't really want to be in there. I'd rather be in the 5A.
Yes.
But because the AIA and then their season when it finished out, they put them in the Open. Well, they went and played in the Open, and they lost.
Well, that's
But-
why you blame the AIA is because that whole concept is another thing to talk about.
Well, look, I get why they
Because
did
there's only 2, 3, 4 schools that can win a championship in the Open. So to put 12 teams into that, and 8 of them have no chance to win the championship is just.
But let's look at the reason why they did it. You had Saguaro in
but
the
that's gone now.
4A.
Yeah.
They won like 900,000 championships in a row.
The Fighting Illustrious, yes.
Yeah. So and then you had Chandler and winning all the 6As and Centennial, the 5A. So you said, hey, let's give some of these other schools a chance to actually have a chance to compete. Let's put these elite programs in an elite division.
Right.
So I didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like this year, you had Basha, Hamilton, Chandler.
But here's the thing:
and there was only one other team. They were one of those teams that was winning the championship.
But they went back and rectified that by adjusting the divisions so that Saguaro's playing 6A.
Yeah.
Although they shouldn't be now, and Chaparral and all those schools.
No, that,
you make those
that-
adjustments,
that-
yeah.
But you know what? See, they have these 2-year blocks.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that schools can appeal it
Mm-hmm.
because they say like Saguaro. Look, we're a great program. We do great things. We win championships, but we don't have. I hate to use the word personnel because we don't have the
numbers.
We don't have the student enrollment that these others do. So we're handicapped. I get on that, but Saguaro went and they still won the darn thing as a 4A school.
Right. No, so it's one of those. It's like a quagmire for the. You're trying to make things fair, and because I've always said that since this thing started, I just soon win a 5A state title or 6A state title as an Open. When I come back in 20 years, my state championship's going to say state championship. You know, it's not going to be, it wasn't the Open state championship.
Yeah. Hey, look. You want to come back because those reunions, they mean something. The 10 year and the 20 year. Hey, look, I had to go back to mine and relive being a goat. and it wasn't a great goat. It was the bad goat. I mean, I failed to come through. And
You
so,
missed the shot.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's terrible. So, but those are things you come back and talk about,
Right?
And you reminisce, and so I mean, it's great to be able to have. I mean, Saguaro goes back. I just imagine him. Saguaro goes back and their 10-year. We won it in 16, 17, 18, 19. We won. I mean, come on, man.
But I mean, I brought that up in the football one because if you lose on the first weekend, you drop down to the lower, and you can still play in your 5A or 6A.
Well, that's what that's a modification.
They
that's
just
a
did that this year.
modification.
But what you're setting up for that is what? We're going to lose this weekend because we know we can't beat Basha.
That's the
Hamilton.
first I've ever
heard
about.
But this was weird because the kid's mom said she was being abused sitting on the visitor side, and the kids just
You're talking about the basketball thing.
The central thing. It's like just don't. If you're going to tank, just don't play. You walk in with crutches or something. Like, what are you doing making all that whole story up of abuse and then walking off the court? It just got weird. But you're going to set yourself up for teams that are going to go, there's no way we're winning a champion. We played Basha. We played Hamilton. We played Chandler this year in terms of football. We're not beating those 3 schools. So let's lose this first game, even though we should win it. And let's get down to our level.
Bottom line, parents get way too involved. Look,
Yeah.
I know some coaches who quit because they said, I just can't take it anymore.
Most of them do.
Because they get constantly are meeting with the district athletic director because the parents want to take it to that level and stuff.
Parents will get coaches fired.
Sure.
I know one in the East Valley that ended up resigning because they were putting pressure on him to play a couple kids because the parents were putting pressure on the administration.
Yeah.
And so the administration went to the head coach, and he was finally like, I'm done here, and left. And everything, and it's like, what are we doing? Robert says, isn't it always the parents? Yes.
Yes, it is.
It 100% is. And it's even to the point where some parents in local media, I won't name them, I think it's a story that's been out there, but a media person, they went after his real job to try to get him fired from his real job because he was saying things about the school and that type of stuff. And it was parents doing that on a media person covering high school sports. And they went after his real job instead of, his parents. It's like, what are we doing?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. Since you said that, look, we when I was at 12, we did Friday Night Fever,
Yeah.
and it's still going on. I mean, 35, 36
Staple,
plus years.
yep.
Yeah, and so what we do is we have an offensive player of the year, a defensive player of the year, a coach of the year, and an all fever team. All right, and offense and defense, special team, all that all entire deal. Man, I can't tell you the number of parents that have called, complained about their kid being overlooked. I even get emails and things comparing stats and things like that. And at least at least it never. It's only a couple times when I was called some names because it was names like you're stupid, you already know that's why no one respects this. Well, if no one respects the awards we're putting out, why are you complaining?
Yeah.
Right.
Why are you reaching out?
But and so
Wow.
so I've dealt with some stuff like that. But look, but the parents who do call in or maybe send some stuff like that, it's just they're usually nice about it. But there's been a couple, look, I respect your decision, but look, I think you kind of erred. Then they'll say, and I'll say, look, your son was very much considered, and it just came down to it. But it's usually nice. But we've had some, and again, with Coolidge, I know they're not every parent out there was doing this, but there are some. And those some can make it bad for everyone, and that's the case that we're dealing with.
Well, and that's the thing where the there needs to be somebody on the other side that gathers them and say, "You're killing our kids."
Absolutely,
Absolutely,
Dale. Absolutely.
I actually saw when the ruling came down before the court deal. I was in a little group thing, and I actually saw some people say, "Hey, parents that did this, you need to speak up and say how sorry you are because you're punishing the kid." So some parents were putting pressure on the parent. They know who they are. Coolidge isn't the biggest place on the planet.
No.
They know who they are. So they were like literally pleading like, you need to sit down with somebody and have a heart-to-heart conversation about your actions so these kids can continue to play. So there are some good in this, at least from that side and things to that. I tell you what, when we come back, let's talk a little NFL as well. Suns tonight, they're healthy. We're even going to see Hightower tonight on top of it.
What do you mean they're not completely healthy? I know a certain Brooks guy that's still not playing, and a certain Goodwin guy that's still not playing.
But in terms of Booker being back, and then Hightower as well, kind of a shocker after this
Hightower?
break. Yeah.
He's off the list?
They say he's playing tonight.
John
Gamador.
2 or 3 weeks.
Yes, I know. And John Gamador just put out on Twitter. I'll verify that, but I'm pretty sure he just put out there expecting him to play tonight as well. So we'll get into all that. Come on back.
9:00 tip-off. Cooper, you going to make it up?
Hey, look, the time change is Sunday.
Yeah.
Coming up, so we don't have to worry
away.
about those 9 o'clock.
Cannot. It's annoying because I'll be out of NASCAR, so I got to be like, what time does this race start today? But I do love that because we get back to normal time. Yeah, Haywood Highsmith is expected to make his Phoenix Suns debut tonight. John Gamador, an hour ago. Come on back, folks. Main event. And we're back here. Hey, Diamondbacks face Mexico today.
Team Mexico.
Gallon's on the mound. That's the most important thing out today.
Do you think they should throw him out there? I mean, every pitcher that goes out and pitches gets hurt.
I thought Ryan Nelson did a pretty good job in his spring debut.
Yeah.
So maybe Gallon can look equally as well tonight.
Well, I mean, we're less than a month away to the start of the season, and Fott has yet to get out on the mound with what came out last week in offseason.
Do you like the World Baseball Classic?
I do. I like it a lot.
Okay.
The only thing I don't like about it is it's so early in spring training. It's good because it amps it up, but I think it's too early in spring training. I think it's not good baseball. Guys are still like Scoble's going to pitch in it, but he's only going to pitch one. He's like, I'm only going to pitch once in one inning or something like that. Or I'm only going to pitch once in this inning. And so they restrict where they go and stuff like that. So that's kind of annoying. But like Ohtani hasn't been here at all because he's in Japan getting ready for it. He hasn't even been here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. That's what I read over the weekend.
He's not been with the Dodgers during
That's
the...
that's what I read over the weekend, so I'm assuming that's correct.
Wow.
I've not been following. I refuse to follow Dodgers spring training.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Ohtani is a freak. He's one of one, so I mean, I would if I'm Dave Roberts, I'm the Dodgers. I'm like, hey, dude, you do you. We'll take you when you come back.
Yeah, he's going to be you. That's one guy you don't have to worry about coming in shape and stuff to that effect. Coming up, but that's the only thing I don't like about it is we're not like Ohtani's not going to pitch at all. He's already announced that. A lot of guys couldn't play in it because they're over 35, so they couldn't get the insurance for it and stuff like that. That's the only thing I don't like about it. If anything, I would say you want to play that after the World Series or something.
Well,
because then everybody's in baseball mode and ready to go.
Now the last time it was a couple 2 or 3 years ago they had this,
every 2 years,
yeah, and so it was Japan and USA.
Yep, Japan won.
Do you expect the same, or do you expect maybe a Dominican Republic team?
No,
or what,
Japan. Well, the U.S. team I'm not sure of because starting pitching stuff to that effect. But Japan's definitely gonna be there at the end unless they just mess up. They just live and die with this and the way they play baseball. So they're gonna be there at the end. U.S. always just worries me a little bit, but that is amazing though, isn't it? You hear like Dominican teams and stuff like that with their infield that's coming in alone. And then they struggle in these things. It is an amazing thing to see happen. You think they would be able to, not that they're going to be schlubs, but they just don't compete like Japan does out there. It is amazing to see how that happens there. Iran's coming into town. By the way, Iran's going to train in Tucson, so I find that an interesting dynamic.
Iran?
Yeah, literally. That's being bombed right now and bombing Israel. I was just saying this morning.
Wow.
Their team's coming into town, into Tucson. Have fun down there with them, Tucson. So you're not a big World Baseball Classic guy?
Well, to me, I agree with your assessment. I just think that Team USA, and keep in mind, you're right. They were there in the championship game 2 years ago. Yeah. It just and you're pointing out like Super. You have guys that are still not playing at their optimum best.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, and so. For that, a
starting pitcher isn't going six no-hit innings.
Yeah, in other words, like I'm a huge Summer Olympic guy, and I think I told you guys that. I love the
baseball's coming to Summer Olympics.
I love competition. I just can't look at the World Baseball Classic in that same vein because I know the team that I would root for, USA. Yeah. They're not at their optimum.
That's the problem. Is it fun? Yes, because anytime you combine nations, it amps it up a little bit. You see that in hockey with the Four Nations tournament and then the Olympics. But you're not going to get the best of everybody out there, and that's what disappoints. You got to find a time to play it when you're going to get the best of everybody out there. I think to continue with it, but maybe, it's still fun to watch.
And maybe you should have it during the All-Star week. Maybe have make it a All-Star break, a 2-week thing, and you have the World Baseball Classic.
U.S. plays their first game on Friday coming up. I think they played in Houston, if I remember correctly.
Is that how long this thing takes? About 2 weeks?
No, it's quicker than that.
Oh, okay. So you could do it like an All-Star break.
Yeah, they play like every other day, and they get through it and stuff. I don't know what I just typed in there.
Coop, the other thing is I always say the Hall of Fame ceremonies for baseball should be the Monday of All-Star weekend or All-Star week.
Not on a random Tuesday.
Kind of like how the NFL does it?
Yeah, not on a random Sunday when 28 of the 30 teams are playing.
Good point, Dale. Good point.
So I'm looking it up here just really quick because everybody's doing schedules. Everybody's practicing, today. So it starts, basically exhibition starts now. I know the U.S. plays that, but it goes until the 17th is the championship game, the classic final.
So that's about 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. For the elimination side of it, I guess it's spread out a little bit more. But yeah, so that's about right. But I agree with you. That would be more fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Because what we see now is just a joke with the All. Though I tell you what, I think last year was pretty competitive. It was
the World Baseball Classic? Every game is competitive. It's amazing. There's some blowouts, but every game's competitive. Fans are cheering.
The American League won 900,000 times in a row. I mean, it was just like, dude, come on now.
The All-Star game, you mean?
Yeah, the All-Star game.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the All-Star game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So
it's the one that I'll watch the most.
So you can get rid of that. And let me tell you something. I don't like the festivities around the All-Star break, like this home run contest. I mean, good Lord, man, you talk about monotonous.
The way they film it alone
back,
is
back.
ridiculous.
I mean, it's like, jeez, dude, come
The
on.
way they film it is ridiculous, where you can't even see him go. Yeah, so Friday on Fox, USA plays Brazil. Webb's on the mound for Friday, and then Scoble is going to pitch on Saturday. Scoble, excuse me, coming up against Great Britain there as well.
Yeah, so Logan Webb from the Giants?
Yes, Logan Webb's, and then Scoble there does go. That's going to be the one to watch. Now, how far does he go? He's stretched out enough.
Yeah, they'll only go an inning, like you said.
Yeah, that's the issue you got to worry about. But and he said he's only pitching once, so this is your chance for him.
He's
yeah,
only, is that right? Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's like whatever, man. They're playing in Houston. Some teams are playing in Miami. Puerto Rico has some games here, and then of course Tokyo coming up as well. You'll see a lot of those games if you want to wake up that early. Like the poor Czech Republic has to play Japan, Korea, and Taipei in Tokyo. Good luck, Czech Republic.
No kidding. Hey, now before we go to the break, you were talking about Devin Booker's back, and you also mentioned Haywood.
Yeah, Highsmith.
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 Highsmith. Okay.
I know where else going to
but it's
present.
Haywood Highsmith.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, Haywood Highsmith. Yeah, they signed him. They picked him up, of course. Everything has a knee injury all year. Got him in, the trade deadline moves and all that stuff to a lower deal, but he's going to get out there. And I'm not going to say he's going to be awesome on this team, but he's a body. He's a veteran presence, but he plays with a lot of energy, and he should fit in with this team. But seeing him on the court tonight, it's that extra body that could liven it. You brought up the point, it might have been during the break, that, can he take kind of the spot of Livers, who's kind of struggling a little bit? Goodwin's out. Can he fill in those types of roles while those guys are?
Yeah, look, I like the fact that the Suns have finally started giving some playing time to Rasheer Fleming. That's just not mop up, because he was very, very instrumental in their surprising win. I mean, I look. Did you see that coming? I said,
yeah. I sat down at dinner and I said, Lakers are Suns are gonna win tonight. You both poo-pooed
yeah, you did.
me.
You know what? He did say that. You did say that. And
but then he came back and said, "Yeah, I didn't really think."
Look. There is no way I was giving the Suns even a remote chance.
You guys were like, nope. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this.
I honestly, I didn't think they could win it. I thought it would be a closer game than you thought.
Yeah, and so Rasheer, he's like 6'9". He has a 7'4" reach. He's athletic, and you know what? You just and even when you think that you can get your shot off, he bothers you. And so look, I've watched LeBron James and Luka Doncic really take advantage of our players defensively. That's why I love Dylan Brooks back, because Brooks gave them both crap. Yeah. But we didn't have him anymore, so I'm like, they're going to run a rough shot. I mean, Rasheer Fleming absolutely gave them fits. I mean, he made them work for it. And I'm like, dude. Absolutely. So I love that. And I still want to see Kobe Brea play more. I mean, I think he's the best catch and shooter on the team.
Not getting any playing time.
Yeah, he's not. And so what he and this year I thought he could have developed what he needs to do. Like, there's going to be teams that are going to run him off that 3-point line. So he has to put the ball on the floor and be able to pull up for shots and stuff like that, like Booker mid-range games. And that's where this kid struggles. He's a great catch and shoot shooter, but I mean, off the bounce, he still needs work. And I would have loved to have seen him, get more playing time this year relative to that. But I guess he's a young enough kid, and maybe he'll put in the work in the offseason and make that part of his game.
Let me tell you, from my viewpoint, if Jalen Green doesn't start playing better, this team will not reach the heights that we're hoping they do.
But Jalen Green has struggled. I will, and so I did read a quote from him, and it made sense that when he came back, he had a lot of leg, but now he's logging more minutes, and his legs are really, really heavy.
He's playing like he did with the Rockets, and that's why the Rockets wanted to unload.
Look. When you say Rockets, play like he did against the Rockets when they were in the playoffs, because the regular season, the kid was just spectacular.
This is playoff Green, is what we're seeing.
Yeah. We're seeing playoff Green
when he's
right
on
now.
the court.
Yeah, and that's not good. But I tell you what, the kid is super quick.
Yeah,
he's fast. He can get to the rim.
Unbelievable.
And he has a nice little handle, things like that. So he has all the tools there, but he just, I guess from a game standpoint, he just hasn't played enough. And now they're trying to give him minutes, and he says his legs feel really heavy. I get all that, but maybe with Booker's return,
Maybe
with
that's what I'm
Booker's
going to
return,
say.
because even Colin Gillespie, he's struggling. Like
But think about who they were just playing too. It gets easier here with the Kings tonight.
Yeah.
Pelicans, Hornets, Bulls are on the schedule here. I think Bulls are next. Raptors. So they have some easy games coming up here that hopefully they can, rest some of those guys, get their legs. Plus, what, 5 days off now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time since they played last during the middle of the regular season.
Yeah, and I looked at their Suns schedule, and you're right. I mean, the next 6 games.
Yeah, Bulls are next.
I was looking at it. I said, man, Suns can, if they do this thing right, they have 34 wins now. They can be at 40 wins if they take care of business.
The Bucks aren't as easy as they were earlier in the season. Bucks are playing better, but that's the hardest team coming up. It is Kings, Bulls, Pelicans, Hornets, at the Bucks. Then you got at the Pacers, at the Raptors, then at the Celtics, Timberwolves, and Spurs. So then it gets hard again.
There's 3 games in a row right there that you say, wow, that's why the Suns need to really stock up on these.
Well, then you go Bucks again right after that. But that's the thing. You go win here. Look, they've been off for 5 days, and no damage has been against the Suns in the standings. I'm not going to change my opinion at all. Suns should be a 7 seed minimum going into the playoffs.
Well,
the Warriors are not playing.
It helped last night that the Warriors had like an 18-point lead, and I'm like, wow, they're going to win this. And then all of a sudden, here come those Rockets.
Yeah.
And they pulled off the win.
Golden State's better at home than they are on the road, but yeah, I mean, Suns should be a 7 seed now, and they can catch the Lakers. To be honest with you, if they get healthy guys back here. But you said? If Green doesn't start playing better, they're not going to get to the heights that we're expecting. What heights are you expecting?
Well, I think that I'm still thinking they should be a top 6 seed.
Yeah.
I think they should be a top 6 seed.
I actually agree with you.
There's some stuff going on in L.A.
Yeah.
The other night I saw Doncic get subbed in for, J.J. Redick reached out to give him 5, and Doncic intentionally avoided him and walked around
him.
And there's something going on in Lakersville.
Well, let me tell you something. There, a lot of rhetoric, a lot of talk coming out of L.A. is that Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, LeBron James don't play well where they're on the floor together.
It's not talk. Stats are there, and if you watch, because I watch a lot of Lakers games, they look downright terrible when all three of them are on the court.
The players are hearing this. They're starting to believe it.
Yeah,
they're starting to believe it, and so it's in their heads now.
But now, Luke, after every game, Luka's saying things like, "Well, I have personal problems" and stuff to that effect. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it comes off as an excuse on why he can't play on the basketball court.
I know Byron Scott, former ASU Sun Devil, former Laker great that was Showtime Lakers. He came out on a podcast and said, this needs to be LeBron James last year. He said, LeBron's got to go. He said, LeBron,
he's going to be done. He's going to be out of that.
Yeah.
This new owner wants nothing to do with
he's blaming LeBron for this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mix.
Well, last year, LeBron and Luka didn't like playing together. And I can guarantee you, Luka's problems are more LeBron than it is J.J. Redick.
Hey, and I'm going to tell you something. I was watching the Lakers. Who were the Lakers playing? I can't remember who they were playing.
You talking about the end of the game?
Yeah. So it came. The ball went to Luka.
Games ago. It was before the Suns game.
Luka was open for a 3
to win it.
You know what? He hesitated. He passed it off to LeBron. LeBron had to really throw up a fade at the end and he missed it. And the Lakers lost. Yeah. And so Luka's going off, pulling his shirt up, and the announcers even said, "I thought he was going to take it because when he caught the ball, Dale." He was open for a 3. He turned it down.
Yeah, well, that's what
I'm like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, then after the game, LeBron's like, "I don't know what's going on, Luka. He should have shot that." So they're openly criticizing each other.
Yeah, it's something. And so today, something is amiss.
Well, that's what I've been saying for like the last month. That's why I think the Suns can catch the Lakers. Is there's internal strife in that locker room, and I do believe the new owners don't care about LeBron. They don't care that he's there. So he's going to be obviously the guy shipped out after the season. And I think LeBron knows it, so he's going to pout a little bit about that.
Well, he'll go back to Cleveland. I don't know if Cleveland will take him back, but I mean that's his
Could you imagine we could have ruined that Cleveland squad by bringing LeBron back?
Yeah, because they got James Harden and Donovan Mitchell there now, and so
but Mitchell's probably leaving after this year. Everything I read says Mitchell wants out of Cleveland.
I heard that with Harden in, he's
Did he?
happy.
Oh, is that why? Okay, that might change then. Okay, because I've been reading all along that he just hates Cleveland. Like, I mean, I've been to Cleveland a lot, guys, and trust me, I hate it too.
Yeah.
The mistake by the lake for a reason. is what I
So
would call
Devin
it.
Booker's back. What do you think that means for the Suns, Dale? What do we expect tonight?
Oh, tonight I expect a victory.
Without,
I'm talking about from Booker. Does Booker struggle in his return, or does he look good? I mean, because you got to rework that chemistry.
Yeah, well, to me, that's what I want to start seeing. I want to see that Devin Booker can raise Jalen Green's game, because I do not believe that the Suns can reach whatever their ceiling is with Jalen Green struggling. And so I'd love to see that. Now, will it take place tonight? Maybe not, but I'd like to see them start taking steps where you see them enjoy playing together, anticipating things, being on the same page, and having fun out there playing basketball. Because for a little bit there, that Suns team that we fell in love with, hustling, playing defense, having fun.
When you lose key players like Brooks and Goodwin, I mean, it's going to have a trickle down effect because those guys, along with Gillespie, really brought it.
Yeah.
Hey, Arizona winning the Big 12 outright. Your just thoughts on that?
I'm not surprised at all. I'm not there, but you know what? I don't get what. Did you catch Tommy Lloyd's comments afterward? I mean, what's this dude trying to talk about? He's trying to say that they call his team soft.
Yeah.
Dude, stop it.
Yeah, he's turned into a Lou Holtz, where every team's a formidable foe and they could lose to him.
Dude, I mean, I don't know of any look the narrative on this U of A teams, they don't shoot enough threes.
Yeah.
They do everything in the paint. They're a physical team. And this dude gonna talk about people are out there saying their team is soft.
How do you motivate? How do you motivate kids?
Stop it.
How do you motivate kids? Is the
Okay.
question, I guess.
Okay,
Right?
look, I wouldn't have gone that route. I mean, look, between Awaka and Krivats, I mean, that team is very much a physical team.
Well, getting the kid back that was sick, I just forgot his name. Arande?
Aristide.
Yeah, him. Yes, thank you. I'm like, wow, what's his name? Getting him back with the combination of Koa Pete back healthy. They're a physical team. This team.
There's nothing soft about them. I'm like, dude, what the freak are you saying?
Dare I say it, should coast to a Final Four appearance.
Well, hey, look, I'm not going to go that far.
I will.
Because even though they have the talent to do that, but I mean, I've been hearing from U of A fans. You know what they're saying? They're fearing because they've seen it happen too often. Yeah. They're fearing that early exit.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm saying this team should be a Final Four team. Will they?
I
agree with Arizona fans. They could be one and done.
Yeah. Look. If I were to pick a Final Four team, it would definitely be Arizona, Duke, Michigan. And I'm wide open on that fourth team. I might even throw Florida back in there because they're starting to play really well.
Yeah,
now.
Florida's up to 5 now. Yeah, they're rocking and rolling right now. Florida is. But no, I mean Michigan, Duke, and Arizona should be Final Four teams.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. They're heads and above everybody else. Like you said, Florida's playing the way to it. Purdue's going to be a threat, even though they've been up and down all year. Stuff like that, but it's going to be something. But if they're not a Final Four team this year, this is going to go down as the epic underperformance of a U of A squad.
Well, I've seen it before under Lute Olson. I mean, he had some great teams. And they were the number 1 overall seed, and they flamed out. So I get where Arizona fans are.
It's all about matchup. They're going to struggle with a team that can shoot a lot of threes and score a lot of points quickly. I think that's going to be their struggle. They'll dominate teams that have to play in the paint because of their size and physicality. But if they go up against a team that can just launch threes and make them, I think they're going to be in for a huge battle.
Well, the other thing is when you have a fan base that feels like snake bit a little bit, and you're going to go into every game with a little trepidation, like, can we get past this opening round game? It should be a cakewalk, but we've showed in the past
they're going to be the number
not
one.
A cakewalk.
They're going to be the number 1 overall seed. I have a feeling when all said is done, if they do, they're supposed to do.
Look, we've seen those. Look, they even had the team where they had a guy named Rustic, a guy named Rustic and DeAndre Ayton. I mean, they played Buffalo. in the first round.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, Buffalo beat them. And look. I remember Cam Cox and our crew went out there and said, "Well, look, you guys, we even plotted the next region and stuff like that. Well, where you guys can, because you know we
Get your plane tickets booked.
We're trying to get the hotels. Man, they lost to Buffalo.
It's your fault. You planned that far ahead. That was your fault. Hey, speaking of Cam Cox, I saw over the weekend during the combine. But man, he is in love with love. Just like you. Are you telling him stuff?
Let me tell you why Cam's in love with love.
Yeah.
Because he called me over the weekend. I sent him my draft just like I did you.
Yeah.
And so, and because they see it every year, I do it every year, and I always tell them, I said, man, I love writing them because my picks are always better than the Cardinals themselves. I mean, it doesn't get him. So he called me and he says, because he doesn't really follow that stuff.
Yeah.
He called me and says, hey, I'm with you now. I want love. I said, Cam, we both know that the Cardinals aren't going to do that. We both know. But I said, Cam, this is what I want you to do, Cam. I want you to go back and look at that draft. I want you to look at the fourth round. There's a guy named Brennan Thompson that I said might be the fastest player in the draft. You know what the dude did? Ran a 4.26 40. Was the fastest player in the combine. So, hey, look, I just know the Cardinals aren't going to do any of the things that I said. I just know.
Well, now that Fanu, whatever his name is, only had 32 arm reach, he's going to fall now. So.
Spencer Fano. Well,
yeah. So maybe that moves love up.
Well, hey, look, I'm convinced that there's a lot of our local media that I've heard them they're all about Francis Manawago or either Spencer Fano. Yeah. They like the offensive line. Now there's some who like David Bailey or
but Bailey's gonna go 2 probably
or Arvell Reese. I mean, and I'm just like, dude, you guys are gonna miss the boat again. You don't have a running game, period. And so. And a nice running game can certainly benefit your defense because they're not back on. But this kid, Love, Jeremiah Love, like I said in my little bio, little sketch that I put out there. Not only is he and he ran a by the way, and the reason why I'm starting to Cam called me, he ran a 4.36 40.
Yeah. Oh, he was all over Twitter. I saw he was all over Twitter. Oh, this guy's going to be the next Cardinals pick. And I went, he's stuck.
Well, and let me tell you something. Wasn't anyone saying that beforehand. It was all, the fact that he went out and ran a 4.36, that lets me know that, hey, they haven't been watching to begin with. But here's the deal. The kid has fantastic hands out of the backfield. If you love Bijan Robinson, if you love Christian McCaffrey, running backs who can get it done via the handoff or in the pass game, you'll love Jeremiah Love. And Love also has this like this little spin game. He has this little spin. He can be running, and then you think you haven't. He has this like 180 spin. And I've just seen him take too many. He made too many house calls. He's a guy that he can make a house call anytime the ball's in his hand.
Yeah, so, he went where?
Huh?
He went where?
Notre Dame fighter.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But here's the deal. But if you look at my draft, he's not the only Notre Dame player I'm drafting.
No, you have a bunch of them. Yeah,
I have 3 of them.
Yeah.
But here's it. I'm getting Love's backup, Jadarian Price. That's who I was taking in the second round. With their second round pick, first
2.
Love, in second round, because I'm telling you, this kid Price, he's if you love the combination of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in Detroit, though Montgomery's been traded to the Texans now, you'll love and Price.
What if Breece Hall doesn't get tagged today and he's a free agent going into the season? You like bringing in a veteran here?
No. Do not. I'm all about. Look.
Trey Benson's going to come back.
See, I'm not afraid to lean on draft picks. And because I tell people this all the time. I have no skill, no talent. The only skill and talent I have is recognizing skill and talent of people who do have it. And I'm telling you, I won't be wrong about this. Only thing that can hurt Jeremiah Love is injury.
The 2 things that came out this weekend with the combine, we're getting into lying season, but all these national media guys come out and going, oh, now we're hearing Kyler Murray's going to be released because there's no trade pay. I've been telling you, everybody, for the last 2 months, 3 months? Kyler Murray's not being traded. He's going to be released because nobody's going to trade for him coming up here. But then the other, go ahead.
Well, again, that would be another colossal mistake by the Cardinals to let him go. There is not a quarterback in free agency. There's not a quarterback in this draft.
That's
There's
what
not a
everybody
quarterback that you can trade for that's going to be better than Kyler Murray. People, let me tell you something. The man has over 3,000 yards rushing and 32 touchdowns. That's just his legs. I'm not even talking about his 21,000 passing yards and 121 touchdown passes. The dude, he just needs better players around him. Yeah, that's all he needs. Give him better play. Hit the best quartet of players he's ever had. I'll take you back to 2021. He has some guy named DeAndre Hopkins, an all-league receiver. He was paired with Christian Kirk, A.J. Green, and some tight end named Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz has been a stellar player for many years. His running backs, Chase Edmonds and James Conner.
Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, they shared the backfield. Cardinals were 7-0, 10-2 until DeAndre Hopkins went down. And I'm telling you, they went 1-5 the rest of the way, and Kyler and Hop never really were able to play again. Hop missed the first 6 games of the following year because of PED use, and then Kyler tore his ACL. Give this man some better playmakers, you'll have a better team.
Go ahead.
Just like Matthew Stafford couldn't get it done in Detroit. He comes to L.A. with some guy named Cooper Kupp, some guy named Robert Woods, some guy named Todd Gurley. I mean, all of a sudden, they're Super Bowl freaking champions, people.
And a coach.
Yeah, hey, that makes a difference too, Dale.
And a coach.
And I'll tell you what, Drew Petzing, he's going to do extremely well in Detroit. You know why?
Running game.
Well, yeah, because he has a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. He has a guy named Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, that offensive line.
Offensive line's decimated. Another guy's
retired. Lions have a first-round pick. It'll be used on an offensive line. See, here's the deal. See, the Lions have skill position players. So they're a team that can go draft an offensive lineman in the first round. They can even sign another one in free agency.
I've been reading a lot Kyler Murray to the Jets. That actually surprised me because we talked last week about hand size and cold weather and stuff like that. And everything. I mean, if Kyler Murray goes to the Vikings, watch out. You're going to see a resurgence Kyler Murray with the Vikings.
Why? Because they got a guy named Justin Jefferson and Addison Reed.
And a running game on top of it. Yeah, and a coach. And a coach. That is a quarterback whisperer.
Now, well, do you think Kyler's foot will be healed by next year?
Well, it depends. Is he going to take a ball off his face?
Here's the deal. I truly believe this. I do believe that Kyler wants out. And so when I heard that him and Austin Fort hadn't been speaking since the end of the season or whatever, I was like, man, that sounds awful like DeAndre Ayton and Monty Williams.
I got more info on that. We want to say it on the air? Not reporting anything, just what I've heard. Austin Fort's the one that benched Kyler Murray.
Okay.
That's where the decision came from. And there's proof behind it if you want to believe it, because I went back and looked. When Jonathan Gannon got fired, Kyler Murray put out a best coach or great coach to work with and stuff to that effect. And Pensing moved on. Oh, Pensing, I loved working with Pensing and stuff like that. Austin Fort and the executives of the Cardinals, might not be Austin Fort, but somebody in the executive on the Cardinals said it's time to move on from Kyler Murray, and that's how the process.
I keep saying
that.
I keep saying this. Kyler gives you the best chance to win.
Absolutely.
If you put the right people out on the floor.
When you release somebody and they become the number one free agent on the market, like Kyler Murray is going to, you're letting some talent go.
Yeah, I'm looking at his numbers, just his numbers alone, dude. 3,000 yards rushing, 32 touchdowns. That's just with his legs. I'm not even talking with his arm. So if I now have a running game. Like again, you go back to Chase Edmonds and James Conner when they shared that backfield. I mean, that was a good 1-2 combo. Cardinals haven't had anything like that since. I mean, Chase Edmonds went ahead and signed free agency, I believe, with the Dolphins from that. And I know James Conner had some seasons in which he rushed for maybe 18 touchdowns and stuff like that.
Yeah. The offense ran through him.
But the dude is finished.
Yeah, with this foot injury.
You can say I believe Connor's coming back. The dude will be 32 years old, people. Yeah. I mean, time to move on. Time to move on.
Especially as physical as he runs. And
By the
all
way,
that.
Brees Hall's officially been tagged. Robert let me know that they did. We thought it was coming, but I just thought I'd get your opinion. So that's
Look, I like Brees Hall. I like Brees, but the guy has had an ACL, and I give him all the credit in the world for bouncing back. Look, he was one of the top running backs when he was healthy.
To me,
with
he's
the
too
Jets.
small.
Yeah.
He can't take the beating with the size of him. I think.
Well,
that's
what the
kind of a
Jets
problem.
need to do, they need to find a complementary back. I mean, that's where the NFL has evolved to is a 1-2 punch. I mean, you look at what Seattle had. I mean, they're the Super Bowl champions. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet did tear his ACL.
Yeah. And now Walker wants out because of the 2 system. He's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, I bet they'll tag him. I bet
It'll be
Seattle will
interesting.
tag
He's
him.
not on the tag list. Yeah, Robert also says it doesn't matter who the running back is. I'm sorry. He says 2 running backs. Coop started drinking early today.
Hey, I'm fine. Look. At Channel 12, they call it Coop's Island because I'm on my island alone. No one joins me, and that's fine. But I tell you, time after time after time, my picks. Look. I'll go back to 2023. Last time we were in this situation, Cardinals had the 3rd overall pick. I was touting Bijan Robinson. That's the guy. They said, Coop, it's too early to take a. I said, no, it's not. I said, I brought up the Emmitt Smith stuff. Look, guy dropped 18, and now I think he's an all-time leading rusher in the NFL. I mean, come on, man. If you redraft it, people will be taking him 1 overall. I don't mind telling you that Bijan Robinson guy. And look, let me tell you something. Guess who was the leading rusher this past season in the NFL? Oh, it happened to be Bijan Robinson. Guess who led the NFL in total yards from scrimmage? Oh, that would be Bijan Robinson. Do you think the Cardinals could? And I watched the Falcons sandpaper the Cardinals with Bijan Robinson on the Sunday afternoon.
They took him out of the game a lot. I can't figure out why they kept taking him out of the game.
They try to keep him fresh. They had that 1-2 punch with the running back from BYU. I can't think of. I'm losing his name. Tyler Algier.
But then they got those receivers that can make some plays.
Yeah, they do. They do. And so. But my point is. And the Cardinals drafted. They drafted some guy named Paris Johnson. Now, look, Paris Johnson's a nice player, but when you go look at your all league teams, your all pros, Dale knows what an all pro is. Yeah. It's the best of the best. There's a running back named Bijan Robinson who was all pro. There is also a Cardinals had a chance. A lot of people had mocked Will Anderson at Cardinals. Well, Will Anderson just happened to be all pro. And I'm not taking any shots at Paris Johnson. Now, Paris Johnson wasn't even Pro Bowler, but that doesn't mean anything. A lot of times that's popularity anyway. But he's just you're not going to get any difference makers when you're devoid of skill and talent, impact players on your off, and that's what the Cardinals lack.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you on that.
And they're going to get talent though. Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, or Malik Willis. Which one?
Hey, let me tell you something. If you look at every one of their stats, they don't even stack up to Kyler's.
Oh,
I just happen to look at Jimmy G. Jimmy G
played 2 years.
Jimmy G has 86 career touchdown passes versus 82 career touchdown passes versus 42 career interceptions. That's like a 2-to-1 ratio. Kyler's at 121 and 60. But
Jimmy G hasn't started that much.
But Jimmy has played. Kyler's played 86 games, and Jimmy's it was like over 75.
Is it that many?
Yeah,
because there was New England and then 2 years in San Fran, and then that's pretty much it, right? Oh, Oakland, I forgot about, or LA or Vegas, I guess I should say.
So,
I forgot about the Raiders.
But my point is that he can't. He's not that dual threat. He doesn't have those numbers running the ball. No. Why? And Malik Willis. Malik Willis has, 4 games now or 5 games in Green Bay that he's looked pretty good in, but there's a whole season in Tennessee, a whole couple seasons in Tennessee where he looked like garbage.
The other side is you're looking at $30 million minimum probably to sign him.
Right, and here's the deal. See, Malik was able to get it done with Green Bay because they have better skill position players. In Tennessee, they were devoid of that.
Right.
He comes to Arizona. Arizona's devoid of that unless they start taking care of business and doing something about it.
What's it going to say when Marv comes in, either buffer or more chubby this year? I guess we'll have to look at that.
Well, I do believe that that things will only go up for Marvin Harrison. He's just too good of a talent to do this. I think now that Michael Wilson has developed or mushroomed, and you see a guy like Trey McBride doing it, I think it's less pressure. And I'm only guessing. I don't know what it is that it causes a man of his pedigree to drop passes at an alarming rate. I'm believing it's more mental than anything.
They're gonna move him to the slot and give him a lot, so he won't have to think as much.
I've drafted Mekhi Lemon. I picked up a second first round pick to get Mekhi Lemon.
But I think that's what's going to happen to get him more integrated, not have to think as much on the outside.
Yeah.
We're done for the day. Dale?
Yes.
You done?
I'm done.
Bruce?
Well, when you get me talking about the draft, I can go all day.
I know. That's why we got to cut you off.
That's why you got to kick me out of here.
Go
Bruce,
Suns!
Appreciate you coming in, Suns. 9:00 tonight, guys. Dale, watch this game tonight and report tomorrow on what happens.
I'll let you know what happens in the first half.
I'll be face down in my pillow by then. Everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow. McCollum on Business already posted. Check that out as well. And otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, everybody, here at the Main Events.